Hello, hello, it's Angela with Dogwood Paper Arts, and I'm back today, and we are going to start on this wallet style journal. Come on. We're going to start on this wallet style journal. You have to forgive my desk. It's a little messy because I've been practicing with the envelope punch board that I bought. We'll do not a review, but we'll do a look at it later and you can review it for yourself. But today we're going to look at this. The more I look at this, the more I don't like that front. Nope, nope, no. Okay, this is called craft text, and it is paper that looks like a fabric, and it acts like a fabric, and it's wonderful like a fabric, and it's just fun to play with. Fun, 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 fun. So, we need to take this, and I'm going to undo it like so. And see how wide I had this other one. Yeah, I cut it all the way down, I believe. Because remember, I folded up both ends. So it looks like it's going to be right about there for width. Right about here. Don't use a pen. Grab a pencil. So right about here. So now we'll just take this. I don't know if it'll be straight or not. We're going to hope so. And then about here, I think. The big scissors, please. Okay. You can hear it cut almost like paper fabric too. You can't tear it like fabric. I'll kind of have to straighten this up on itself here in just a second. Probably would have been better to use one of those rolly blades, but I didn't. Okay, I'm going to just even that up along the bottom, along the top, and see where I'm at. Okay, so I'm off right smack dab there. Right there. I'm okay on that side. Okay, so right here. Okay. There we go. Now, we got that far. Let's see what we did here. This end I did not fold up at all. I just put the little marks in it. So let's give ourselves a little doodad line here. right here. I'll give you some measurements here in just a moment. Okay. I can see that that's a little off right there. And the reason I know that is because, and this paper is not all lined up and everything, so you will find that. Okay, so right about there, that should line it up. And then we'll have these on both sides. That's our tying notches. I'm afraid to cut that. I'm afraid it won't be straight. Okay, there we go. Now let's punch this. And I'm using my new punch. This is an oval punch and oval setter. There. And there. Okay, now down on this other end I do have a pocket right here, and I do have the holes for the ribbon to go through. So we know that this goes here. And this comes down, and this comes up, and then it's going to get cut off, right? It can be as long as you want, really. So right there is even fine with me. Just like so. And then what happens is your middle folds up in there somewhere, and then this is going to come over the top and have your holes. So let's give you some measurements here. You will need a piece of paper or fabric. Fabric you might want to stiffen up with not this kind of fabric. If you have Craft Tex, you'll just be able to use this. I need to measure these ends. I am totally off today. That's 4.5 by almost 4.5. So this is off just slightly. Okay, so we're going with it anyway, because it looks like it lines up, but it really kind of doesn't. Okay, so if you're going to use fabric, you might want to stiffen it up with what is that stuff called? You iron it in. I can't, Thermolam or something like that. What's the old name, I believe, for it. Anyway, you'll probably want to iron one of those in and then put a top over it. Okay. So this is 18 and 3/4 inches. 18 and 3/4. 18 and 5/8. 18 and 5/8. Okay? And then you'll want to punch 2 holes down here. Now you can use, if you have one of these oval punches, you can use that. Or if you have your regular punch, you can use the bigger hole, would be better. The nice thing about these is they do go in further. This one only goes that far. That's it. That is as far as it goes, which is only a half inch in. And this will go an inch in. And then if you have the big one, of course, it'll go clear to the center. So, the big hole, which I think is 3/8 inch, is the one you would want to use. Okay. Now, we have that. This is going to come up. This is going to come down. I think I have this on the outside, this on the inside. Okay. Now let's see if that's about the same length. And it is. The reason I left this extra space down here was so if you decided to put some things in here, it could expand with your items. Okay? So we're going to fold this up at the end 3.5 inches. Now this is not an exact science. You fold it wherever you want. If you use the longer paper, I don't think I have any, but if I did, that would be very cool. Let's see. I don't think I have any. Not there. Nope, 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 no. But if I did, I would use it. Nope. No, I wish I did. That would be cool. I'm going to have to order some more. Emily, I need to order from you. Vintage Polka Dot Shop. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of give that a crease. And that's all I did here, was I just creased it. And I did sew around it, but not yet. The first thing I have to do is figure out where I want those. And I put them down just not even 1 inch. About 3/4 of an inch down. 3/4 of an inch. So if I went down 3/4 of an inch and drew a line with a pencil, 3/4 of an inch right here. If I did one right here, there's my line. And I came over here. There. Then I would know that I need to punch a hole. Not in here, out here. And I'm going to line my circle punch up with that line. Am I? Did I go 3/4 to the middle? Oops, that's centimeters. Don't really work in centimeters. Yeah, I did 3/4 to the middle of the oval. So I would insert this to the middle of my oval. Wing. And gaboinga boinga. There. Okay. Now we have to find the yellow tie that we're going to put in this. So hang on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I think I'll use this one. I would love to use this, but if I choose to use this on my spine, I don't know if I will, but if I was to do that, then this would be a better color to go with this. Right? Right. So that, I think, is like the school bus yellow that would look really cool. But just not sure. Little tiny pin. Put it in the pin holder. I don't know if this is even going to be long enough, to be honest with you. It would have to go through here. Oh, come on. This might not be long enough. We might have to go school by shallow. And then, let's see, that'll be like that. And then this will come in this way. It might work. This way. It works better once it's got paper in it, believe me. And it's got all of its creases and everything. Okay, so this would work just fine. And that way, if we used something like this at the top, it will match this. But I don't know that we will. I just don't want to put in something that isn't going to look good. Okay, so now we have to do the hard part. And that is, the hard part is putting in these little gold doodads. I think we'll use gold. So we need 4 of these, hoping I do it right. And then we'll need 4 of these little ones. Hoping against hope that I do it right. Let's see. Now, I want to get the directions for it just to clue my brain in one more time. And it's not those. That goes to the punch board. Okay. Here we go. Now, that's going to cover that. This is going to go like this. This will go like this. So, this is the top. So, I'm going to give myself a little T right next to this where I can erase it. A T. A T. I'm going to put a T here. A T right there. I'm going to erase those. That's just telling me which end is up. So this end is up right there. Okay. So it says to insert this into the hole. And then this goes on here. However, that doesn't work once you flip this thing up this way. So I think what I did yesterday was I went ahead and put this. No, don't use that tool. I think I put this. Being gentle with it, I put it on that little piece in there. Can you see that? I set it on there. And then top. Then I inserted this. And then everything is a little complicated. Okay. What if I did this? What if I just set that on there, like that, and now I insert it onto the little thing there. Somehow they just aren't. You can't see through this metal. Needs a little window right up there. Okay, crossing my fingers. No, I didn't do it. Okay, let's look at it again. Insert this like this. Maybe this goes on there. Let's try that. Let's put this on that little piece on the bottom. Okay. Oh yeah, we did it. Okay, so we inserted this in the top like this. Well, you saw me do the first two, so I'll get these done and I'll come back to you. Okay, I'm back. All done with that. So, what I did next was I folded this up. Oh, no, I put this in. First I found my middle mark. Found my middle. Right there. Ran this through on one side. And then on the other. Lined up my middle mark in the approximate center here. Okay. And then there's a little tiny pin there. Okay, so then what I did was, oh, I have to put the pin on the other side. There we go. Okay. Yes. Okay, I'm going to take this to my sewing machine, and it's right over here. And I'm going to sew between here and there to sew this down. Okay? And let's see. I did sew on top of this one. So we could do it that way if we wanted. We could just go ahead and put that in place and sew that whole layer down. Because if you try to insert something in here, it's going to keep catching up on this. So we might as well sew the whole thing down. Right? Right. Okay, so I'm going to sew between there. And then I'm going to sew around my pockets here too. Let's see. And I just did a feather stitch on this one because I thought it looked nice. And I'm going to use the brown thread that I have in here. And on mine, a feather stitch is a 22. And let me do a little practice stitch on here. pretty good. What happens when I backstitch? Okay. I'll show you what that looks like. Yeah, it does backstitch just a little bit. If you cut too much off, all of the thread's going to come out anyway. So that's a feather stitch right there. So I'm going to feather stitch that. Do you think I should just get yellow? Or is the brown okay? I kind of like the contrast between the yellow and the brown. I think that looks kind of nice. Hey. My sewing machine is tangling up my foot. Pull out the tiny pin. Okay. Now, what I did do, because it was hard to pull everything through to this side, I just took a little bit of Fabri-Tac, a little bit, and just put it on there. And then I just rubbed it in. It'll dry very fast. But that just allowed that to stay sewn in. Okay? Okay. Now, we are going to sew all the way around this doodad. Okay? Don't sew your ties down. And could we use a feather stitch on this one? I don't know. Maybe. Let me get some of my paper out of the way from playing with paper this morning. There we go. Let's just get that out of the way. All my envelopes and stuff that didn't work. Okay. Okay. So it won't go past that, so I will have to straight stitch it. And if I use a 1, it'll put it close to the edge. Right there. Yes. Okay. Almost there. Alright. It's not perfect. It's a junk journal. Okay. Oh, I missed it right there. So we can have a little corner down on our pocket if we like. Or I can come back and catch that stitch in there. I like the idea of sewing a corner down on it. It's kind of cool. Sometimes accidents are a great thing. I don't know how I got off so far on that one. Just cut it too close to the edge, I think. That may not even catch it. It did, a little bit. Might have to seam ripper it all out and come back. I don't really want to do that. But I don't like that doubling up of thread there either. Don't like that at all. I don't sew like I used to. I wish that I hadn't stopped, because I used to do, you know, quilts and stuff like that. And I have some that I just haven't finished. Shame on me. I had so many big plans. Okay, so we do have that little piece right there. So let me see, what could we do? I think maybe what we'll do is we will glue that. And then maybe I could zigzag around it and that would catch the whole thing. The thing is I run into my gold, my expensive gold things. No, they weren't expensive. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this right here. I don't think it's going to hurt. And then I can come back over it. With a stitch after it's completely dry. There. All right, there. Okay, I think we will stop right there, and I will, that's probably long enough for today. I will edit this to get out most of this crap that happened here. Most of the stuff that happened here. I will edit this part out. So, anyway, and we still have to do our envelope punch. I do have to say, I'm just going to, instead of doing the envelope punch with you, I think I'll just tell you that I prefer to use my old envelope punch. So, but we'll use it, and I'll show you, let you kind of review it yourself, I guess. Okay, that is all I have for today. We are getting somewhere with this new piece. Let's go ahead and toss this in here. And this in here. And then let's tie that up. There we go. That'll go down like that. So that we have it something like this. Okay. And then I have an idea for the front here. Instead of too much stuff, I have something else. Okay. There we are right there, and you can see right here I had to go around this. I should have used my zipper foot, because then I could have just came right in along it. So I may see how brave I am, and I might just take all the stitching out of this one. I don't know. I don't want to do that. Okay, so there we go. That's where we're at. We are making one of these journals. So I will talk to you all in the very next video. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you all have a beautifully perfect day. Bye.